Okay, great. Hi, everybody. So I know that people are joining as we'll get a slow start. And also, this will be recorded. And of course, we're going to send everybody a follow-up email afterwards with next steps. So, first things first, very excited and thankful that a lot of you have registered to join us. Specifically, this Zoom. I assume many of you are familiar with our work at End Jew Hatred, either in our WhatsApp groups or via our mailing list, etc., etc. So allow me to introduce myself. I'm Michelle Adut. I'm a director here of programming and strategy. Adar,
I'm the director of mobilization and the campus manager for the NGO Hatred movement.
amazing. And we also have Gerard Falidi here, who is Gerard. Amazing. Go ahead.
I work with Michelle and Adar, and I'm also a lawyer at the Lawfare Project, so bridging the gap between the activism side and the legal side. Thank you all for being here this evening.
Awesome. So the main purpose today, as you know, at NGO Hatred, we constantly are, taking on different initiatives, really trying to move the needle on against Jew hatred and really ensure that the importance of civil rights, as a minority, that our civil rights are protected, and frankly, everybody's civil rights should be protected. So tonight is specifically focused on End Jew Hatred Day. So I'm just going to give you a 1 minute background on what End Jew Hatred Day is for anybody unfamiliar, and then we'll get into how you can help us make it grow. So in 2021, correct, Gerard? 2021 or 2022, now that all the years are a blur. I believe.
2022.
Oh, sorry. Okay. In 2022, the idea of End Jew Hatred Day came up, meaning a day called End Jew Hatred Day to get on the calendar. Back then, it was in coordination with the Holocaust Museum, Gerard, Rockland County. I might have that wrong.
Rockland County Holocaust
Okay.
Museum, amazing folks there who spearheaded this, along with the first elected official who recognized it, which was then State Senator Elijah Reichlin Melnick, who saw the importance of having a day proclaimed for social justice, for the civil rights of the Jewish people. It's not a day about Israel, it's not a day about religion, it's a day about Jewish identity and our ability to be safe and secure in our country, enjoying the civil rights that we have, the same as every other minority group, the same way that there are days and weeks and months honoring other communities, other minority groups. We need that for the Jewish people, especially now when we see this wave of rising Jew hatred across the
Mhm.
country.
Exactly. So you said that perfectly. So that was 2022. And the goal here is one, to get loads of electeds on both sides of the aisle proclaiming, oh, and let me get to the date. The date, April 29th in 2022, that coincided with Yom HaShoah. So that was the year and sort of the impetus for that being the date on our calendar. And we decided that we're going to keep April 29th as the day, even though obviously it's not always Yom HaShoah. And, the past couple of years, actually, last year it fell over one of the days of Passover, I believe. But regardless, that's the date on the calendar. And our goal is one, to grow the proclamation of End Jew Hatred Day across the aisle with electeds everywhere from city council level all the way up to governor, senators. Obviously, would be great to get a presidential proclamation as well. And we have to think big. The goal is eventually to get this, on the calendar as a national holiday, but we have to start somewhere. And everyone knows that at End Jew Hatred, we're grassroots, we start somewhere. So let me just take you from 2022. We had, as Gerard said, the first elected that signed on to this proclamation. And now I'm going to turn it over to Adar to talk about how many electeds we have gotten thanks to both all of you activists who have been involved in the past garnering these proclamations, along with any connections that we have with electeds that we know and other people, from all of our work with other organizations and other institutions, reaching out to electeds with very simple language to get these proclamations. That's the elected official side. And Adar can talk more to the proclamation side. Now, more than that, and it's astounding how much we've grown and how many proclamations we have now nationwide. Now, aside from that, we obviously want this day to be meaningful in many ways. So another big step that we've taken the past year, meaning for EJH Day 2025, it was incredible. We got schools on board. And I'm just putting this all out here for you guys because then you're going to decide what you could get involved in if you have connections, in any realm that I discuss over here. So in terms of schools, what our ask is, we really can just give it to you very clear, simply. If you are, for instance, a parent involved in a school, a teacher, a trustee, and if you have any involvement in your school district, frankly, you don't even need to be a parent, but just be, sort of in that fight of making sure that kids are not being indoctrinated and they're being taught that civil rights matters. We are asking school districts with a template that we're going to provide you with to recognize the day. So that could either be at a Board of Education meeting, proclaim April 29th End Jew Hatred Day. It could be on April 29th, a morning loudspeaker announcement that today is, hey kids, today is End Jew Hatred Day, a day recognizing Jewish civil rights. And we provide all of that language. And as Gerard perfectly said, this truly has nothing to do with Israel. We are all Zionists. We know that Zionism is an integral part of our identity, but End Jew Hatred Day is a day to recognize the civil rights of the Jewish people and to fight against and combat Jew hatred. So there's the school piece and the elected official piece, and then of course the event piece. So last year we had some activists that did tabling events in their communities on the sidewalk outside of a local supermarket, handing out pamphlets about End Jew Hatred, the Jewish civil rights movement. What does it mean? We got them information packets and flyers. So there's that community event piece also, because you all know through the grassroots activism, everybody finds out, everyone learns, and everyone gets involved. So that's my quick overview. Adar, at this point, perhaps in regards to the proclamations and the elected officials, you can explain, what it is, some elected officials that have already given proclamations, and let people know how they can help. And I'm just going to leave you with all of this for now, that after this conversation, first, of course, Q&A, so you can ask any questions. Second, we will be following up, and I'm going to be putting in chats a lot of links to the documents that Adar and I'm going to show you, as well as a WhatsApp chat specific to End Jew Hatred Day 2026 mobilization with different subgroups, so you could see what you want to get involved in, and there we'll push out information. Adar?
Fantastic. First things first, Gerard, can you please make me a host just so I can present some proclamations? That way I can share my screen. Wait, hold on one second. Actually, no, disregard. I got it. Awesome. Here we go. Perfect. Awesome. So this document right here, it's not a proclamation, but it's one of the several documents we're going to send out. This is the language for school outreach. School outreach is very, very, very critical. As Michelle said, we had people doing this, via morning announcements, newsletters, etc. And there's a lot of ways that we'll showcase it. The proclamation aspect is one of the most fun aspects of End Jew Hatred Day. So we've seen participation from over 60 elected officials over the last 4 years. We're always looking to grow it more and more and more. We also see we can technically say it's a lot more than 60, given that a lot of municipalities and city councils have unanimously marked it and proclaimed it. We've seen a lot of engagement out in Florida last year. We've had several districts in Michigan do it. One sample that I'm going to showcase, as a matter of fact, it's actually the very first proclamation that I was able to receive when I first joined End Jew Hatred in 2023. This is the Las Vegas City Council. Give me 1 second. We'll let this load. Perfect. So as you can see here, this is, there's just a minor hiccup. That's because I have an outdated Microsoft Word account. But anywho, this is just a sample proclamation. I'll show you a nicer one, but it's one that was proclaimed by the Las Vegas City Council. This one was actually unique. It was actually done in—
Sorry, do you see, I'm sorry to interrupt, but you see it on your end, the actual proclamation? Yeah. I don't see that you're screen sharing, unless it's on my screen. Gerard, are you seeing the proclamation?
No, I'm not seeing it anymore. There we go.
Okay, now you're screen sharing. Perfect. Now you
Sorry
are.
about that. It might have cut out for a second.
No problem.
So here is the proclamation from Las Vegas City Council. This one was unique. This one was actually a very special one. It's my very first one that I was able to get. And it was actually done in response to an anti-Semitic incident targeting a 17-year-old nonverbal autistic boy who was attacked due to his Jewish identity out of nowhere. He was the only visibly Jewish kid. But when we do outreach for proclamations, I'm going to be sending you volunteer outreach language. And there's a process when it comes to obtaining proclamations in general. Now, when it comes to the gubernatorial side, so that means the governor's side, usually they're. Oh, oops. Sorry about that, guys. Pretty good. Ben, can you guys see my screen?
No, I see you, but the screen, it's not sharing again.
Oh, whoops. Why is it not showcasing
But
it?
it's okay. Even if it's not sharing, it's okay because we saw the Las Vegas. If you could just discuss
Yeah,
the concept of proclamations, and again, in the toolkit that we'll send out via email tomorrow, follow up, we'll attach
yes,
some samples. And the key is going to be this WhatsApp group also, because that's where we'll just constantly share and, link, really making it very, very simple for everybody to take action and get
yes,
proclamations.
absolutely. And I apologize that Zoom is not being my friend today, but the proclamation side is unique. When it comes to gubernatorial outreach in particular, how you want to go about it is you want to research online. And it's very, very, very simple. It's a small number of keywords, and we will showcase it in the follow-up email just so you can have. You want to search up Governor Joe Lombardo. I know he just showed Las Vegas. Let's keep in Nevada. You search Governor Joe Lombardo proclamations, and then you go to the governor's official website and you fill out their proclamation request form. Um, we've seen participation from a few governors in the United States from both sides of the aisle. We've got Jared Polis out in Colorado, Andy Beshear out in Kentucky, Sarah Huckabee Sanders out in Arkansas, and we also got Kelly Ayotte out in New Hampshire, as a matter of fact. So we've got a lot of draw-in from bipartisan engagement on it. I'm always looking to expand it, as many governors that we can get. Whether it's, Greg Abbott or it could be Gretchen Whitmer, it doesn't matter. It's always important that we plant this on their radars. And the important thing when it comes to the gubernatorial side is that you do this out in advance. So you do it between now to early March, because usually proclamations take between 4 to 8 weeks. And usually they will either email a physical or email a digital copy, but we always encourage our activists to get the physical copy. And when you do the submission, their office will be in contact with you. We will give you the proclamation language, and we will give you the email template as to how to send it out.
Right.
So I'll actually read it real quickly as a matter of fact.
And Adar, I mean, that's fine. And you said it really perfectly. I think a key here is one is Garner is getting the proclamation.
Yes,
Another big piece here, though, is highlighting that official gave this proclamation out, because we don't just want the proclamation, it's a proclamation and that's it. So last year, there were amazing examples of people when the proclamation was gotten. There was one activist in Maine that an article was written about it. Another, many times when it's at city council, which we're going to highlight, the Florida activist, as Adar said, there's, one activist, we actually were going to have her speak on tonight's panel because she was so phenomenal in the way that she systemically went city council, county by county in Florida. And she couldn't make it tonight. So she actually gave us a 2-minute video about how she used her connections and how special it was. And then at all of these city council meetings, she would show up with other activists. So again, that's when we, band together in our local chapters, show up, get pictures over to us that then we can amplify on socials. We can get out in the press. So this is what really makes this End Jew Hatred Day more than just, okay, April 29th, it's End Jew Hatred Day. It becomes a real event and something to think about, for everybody to think about, both leading up to it and on April 29th. So Adar, I just had to interject with that. I don't know if you want to go into the language of the proclamations. I don't know if we
No.
need to do that right now. I'm
Well, not
thinking,
the language of the proclamation, but I was going to read out the outreach language as
perfect,
a
please. And
volunteer.
again, and we'll get that to everyone after. And then afterwards, if you can screen share, if you can play Jen Ensline, she's the Florida activist, everybody, whoever might know Jen, she's phenomenal. If we could play her video after, if the screen sharing works, because I think that's
Yeah.
really powerful.
If Michelle, if it's working on your end or Gerard on your end, because I'm still dealing with the hiccup on my side, I can quickly email you the MP4 of her videos.
Sure, not a problem.
Awesome. So I'm just going to read the general outreach language right now. Uh, Good afternoon. My name is full name. I am a volunteer with the End Jew Hatred Movement, a nonpartisan grassroots civil rights movement. I am reaching out to request a proclamation or a resolution as part of an End Jew Hatred national campaign that is held every year on April 29th. Core to the movement's mission values, we are getting Republicans and Democrats to come together in unity and pledge to uphold bipartisan collaboration in the fight to end Jew hatred within our lifetime. This campaign started 4 years ago on Yom HaShoah, Israel's Holocaust Remembrance Day, where the aim is to create a day of empowerment leading into Jewish American Heritage Month and recognition of the Jewish community's contributions to the American public and our society. This initiative originally started in New York and New Jersey, but last year we saw tremendous growth in participation in over 14 states across the country, which included gubernatorial engagement. Notable participants include Governor Kelly Ayotte, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Senator John Fetterman, Congressman Sri Tenadar, Governor Andy Beshear, Congressman Richie Torres, and Congressman Mike Lawler. Following the aftermath of the October 7th war and the Bondi Beach massacre, our Jewish community has observed an international increase in Jew hatred. We continue to see a spike of violence we continue to see a spike in violence, vandalism against Jewish schools and our houses of worship, radicalization in K-12 and our college campuses, rhetoric echoing in the world of politics coming from both sides of the political aisle, and more. We are urgently expanding this initiative across the country as this proclamation is needed now more than ever. Attached are some sample proclamations that have been issued by elected officials from the municipal to the gubernatorial level, along with the language itself. So I'm not going to read the whole proclamation language, but you'll have it with you as the language itself. And one thing that I will note too is that when you're doing gubernatorial outreach in particular, their websites will showcase a field that requires you to submit the language. That's the beauty of having this language out in front of you. You can literally just copy and paste it and just fill in the highlighted blurbs, which the highlighted blurb is literally, the name of the elected official, the city/state/jurisdiction, and it's pretty much it. I mean, it's very, very.
That's no, Azar, you really hit the nail on the head and you explained everything. And there's the obviously cold outreach, but one big thing a lot of us have going for us is either having contacts, connections, or knowing people that have connections. So by all means, reach out. And with this sample template, you can forward that along to then get forwarded along to the officials that we need to reach out to. I mean, I could use myself as an example. 3 years ago, just by virtue, I live in New York and I'm in Nassau County. So I reached out to electeds I knew. And after a month, we basically got almost every elected in the Nassau County legislature, along with the county executive. And then it trickled up to, at that time, Anna Kaplan. So things trickle up when they realize that it is something that's nonpartisan, really just concept of embracing civil rights and standing against Jew hatred. Who can argue with that? And we
Michelle, even the New York City Council, and we all know
that's right. We didn't even exactly, Gerard. That right there, that's a perfect example. The New York City Council gave us a resolution. Of course, then it also made news, Gerard. I believe it was two or three of the members voted against it, which that was a huge New York Post article within itself, which was a great thing because it shone a light on the true Jew haters. But that being said, perfect example of how it truly is just nonpartisan, apolitical. And we just want to really garner as many proclamations as we can. Gerard, do you want to try to play Jen's video now? And then we could move on to the schools.
Here, Gerard, I'll send it to you right now.
I think he got it. I think he got
Oh,
it.
he already has it? Perfect.
It was up. I'm not sure.
Hi, my name is Jenny Ensline. I live in Miami, Florida.
We had her, but we lost her. Oh, and we lost Gerard also. Oh my gosh.
What is going on
Hopefully
this
he'll be
morning?
able to come back in. But anyway, just so you all know, Jenny, hopefully he'll come back on and be able to play it. But Jenny just did a phenomenal job of using her connections. In the past, she had worked with AJC, and she had contacts, with a lot of elected. So she, one, used her contacts, but she also rallied community members around her to join her at city council meetings when they said that they would be issuing the proclamation. She pushed them for, what the date of the next meeting was, that they wanted to come in person. She got the proclamation, and you see 20 people standing around her with the electeds holding that proclamation. So it was very powerful. I think that she helped garner really, I think, about 15 different proclamations across Florida. And one huge piece of what she did, she pushed a proclamation for the Miami-Dade School District. So they sent an email out district-wide to thousands of families about End Jew Hatred Day. And right there, to me, as a parent of four, that is so powerful to think that these schools are now, anybody of any religious background is getting this email proclaiming April 29th End Jew Hatred Day. And they pause, and it's something to speak to their child about. So what better way to, really instill both the conversation and passion for civil rights? So I think Gerard is back. I don't know if we're going to be able to play Jenny's video, but basically that's who Jenny is, and we're grateful for her. So I beg any of you that have connections, be the next Jenny in another district, or in Florida in another area. But that's really, tonight, that's what we're here for. We're just asking, here we go, Jenny's
There you
here.
go.
Let's try it again.
Years ago, while I was a board member of JCS, Jewish Community Services of South Florida, I formed the first public policy committee. And through it and my work as a volunteer lobbyist for the agency, I formed many relationships with elected officials at all levels of government and their staff. Over the years, I have nurtured those relationships from local to federal levels of government. I was very active member of AJC, American Jewish Committee of Miami, as well as responsible for the contact and communications with elected officials. Last year, at around this time, a good friend of mine told me about the End Jew Hatred movement, and I immediately joined the group chat. I began following and acting on all the daily action items. When I learned about the designation of the End Jew Hatred Day of April 29th, I immediately reached out to all my contacts. To secure proclamations at the county and city levels, it is a matter of looking up the information, making a few phone calls, and following up with emails, securing dates of the commission meetings, and showing up to say a few words and accepting the proclamation. I also thought of reaching out to the county's district school board and therefore extend the reach. I looked up the information on who makes up the district's school board and then inquired around my contacts as to who knows and who might know the members of the board. It is a matter of knowing who to ask. It is a matter of being able to secure one of the members of the county's school board to endorse our request and issue the proclamation, which was supported by other members of the board as well as the chair. Feel free to call me or email me with any questions, because sharing is caring.
See, I said she really is the best. So she actually is fine sharing her contact for anyone to reach out to her, so she can really hold your hand and explain how to take part in this and really get this going even more than it already has. I actually just put in the webinar chat the link to the WhatsApp community for End Jew Hatred Day planning. So please, whoever can join this, essentially you'll see once you join, there are different groups. So one group, for instance, is education outreach, legislative outreach, et cetera, et cetera. And that's it. And that is open conversation. So anything you ask us, we'll answer you. You all know us by now. We're available all times of day, all week long. So we're just here thankful for you all jumping on and helping us make End Jew Hatred Day really grow year in and year out. So that's the community part. In terms of the school part, as Adar quickly showed before, the letter template, we will also get that to you. And I think I could also drop it in the chat, but I'll also share it in the WhatsApp group. But we try to make everything super simple for you to reach out. It might be as simple as you looking up your own superintendent and a board of ed trustees or principal in your child's school email addresses and copy and pasting this letter and just tailoring it to your own school and asking them to issue proclamations. So we got a bunch of not proclamations, I apologize, but to market in their school in different ways. So we got a bunch of school districts doing that last year, and you'll see in the WhatsApp chat, we'll also share a spreadsheet where you guys can add in your progress. So you'll be able to add in, for instance, the school district reached out to principal on so and so date, outcome, et cetera, et cetera. It's all really just, we try to just organize it really into sort of a nice little package for you to make activism really, really easy and fun. And then comes the great stuff in that WhatsApp chat when people start sending, hey, we got a proclamation and we're going to be going to city council on this day, and then sharing videos and pictures, et cetera, et cetera. So that's really covering the school and the elected's outreach. And of course, then there's the event piece. And I think the event piece, one, we also look to you for a lot of ideas on how you think it could be marked in your community. If you have ideas, if you have a connection to some speaker that you think you can get into your community center or synagogue or your child's school, if you have that relationship to bring, some sort of program within the school. I know that's typically a harder ask. But there's that piece of the events also. Gerard, Adar, I don't know what else I'm missing. We want to keep this brief and open to also your Q&A. But Adar, anything else that you want to add for now?
So Zoom decided to be my friend right now, and it's now allowing me to screen share. So here, I'm just going to quickly pull this up. Can you all see it from my side?
Yes.
Perfect. So I wanted to showcase a few sample proclamations real quick. This is the one that was issued to us from Governor Kelly Ayotte. Let me move this right here. And then let me show case Sarah Huckabee Sanders right over here. I have the physical copy at home.
It's still showing the Kelly Ayotte one, but that's okay.
Oh, here, let me close that one. Can you see it?
You're not screen sharing any. The screen
Oh,
sharing.
it says it was paused. Whoops. Let's start again.
Perfect.
Awesome. So this one is Governor Kelly Ayotte. That's from the gubernatorial side. I'm going to showcase one from Congressman Shri Tenadar, so you can see one from the congressional side.
And again, and Adar, is it the same outreach template regardless of governor or senator that you're reaching out to? We're still explaining it the same way, correct?
It's essentially the same exact format. It's just a different medium. So when it comes, here, let me quickly pull up Tenadar. Okay, can you see it?
No, we lost your screen share.
Oh, it says it was paused. Let's go back again. And then here is Shri. Can you see it?
Yes.
Perfect. This one came from Congressman Shri Tenadar. He's out in Michigan. This has the language right here, signed from Michigan's 13th district. So one thing I want to note too, when it comes to the congressional and senatorial side, there's two specific ways in which you can find out who you need to reach out to. Ideally, you want to reach out to either a chief of staff or you want to reach out to a communications director. So ideally, sometimes they'll even reconnect you with someone from their team in order to take over. I've had people that I reached out to the comms director and they would end up forwarding me to the staffer that handles anti-Semitism issues. So I'll explain this even in the follow-up email. What you want to do when you're doing outreach to these elected officials on the congressional and senatorial side, you want to go on Google. You want to search Congressman Shri Tenadar, Communications Director, or Chief of Staff. You will see a website called Legistorm. Usually it's a glossary that showcases the names of staffers working there. But what I also like to recommend, in case it doesn't, for whatever reason, showcase the emails, is that you reach out to their DC or district offices. So you Google Congressman Shri Tenadar offices. You go to the congressman's website. It's got a list of various different House office locations in Michigan. So I know there's one in Detroit in particular. So you can call them up and say, hey, as part of an End Jew Hatred Day campaign, here's what we're looking to do. Who do I need to connect with in order to request a proclamation? And then you take down their email, and from there, you send out the general outreach language from there. It's a very, very, very simple process. The only difference on the gubernatorial side is that you have to fill it out on their website as a request, because it's very, very, very hard unless you know specific people within respective administrations. It's always a bonus. Like for me, I was able to get Jared Polis, just by reaching out via the website. But when it came to Sarah Huckabee Sanders, for example, I knew someone who was currently working for her, and that made it easier. So utilize your connections to the best of your ability if you have any. Otherwise, go to their website, to the governor's website, and search for proclamations when you're searching, because there will be a proclamation request form. Every administration has it. So it's a very, very, very simple process. And again, one thing that I think is very, very critical is that hold on. Okay, perfect. One thing that I think is critical is that you have someone that's willing to come and pick up a physical copy. Sometimes, they'll email or they'll mail it out to me or to Michelle, Gerard, someone from the team, and that's okay. But ideally, we want people going out to the Capitol or to the governor's office.
Absolutely. That's exactly it. Yeah. So a couple of years ago, for instance, when Richie Torres, who we all love dearly, issued a proclamation, I went up to his office there, which was great, met him, grabbed a picture with his staffer, and then we, put that on socials. This is really what gets the word out even more and more. Everyone knows that's, life now is amplifying things on socials and in the press, et cetera, et cetera. So we've covered, pretty much what we wanted to cover in terms of what our asks are of you. Most important for you to know, though, is that we're here to hold your hand every step of the process. Even that you're willing to help us grow End Jew Hatred Day and be a part of ensuring that not only is this on the calendar, but that it's a meaningful day is huge. So we want to help in any way possible to make it easy for you wherever your area is, whatever state, county you're in, making it easy for you to make your ask. And one thing I will say, though, is I think last year, one of the most meaningful things were people showing up at their city council meetings to get the proclamations. So, and I think that city council officials sometimes are even easier, obviously, to issue a proclamation. It's a much easier get. But it's so powerful when activists go there, many of them wearing End Jew Hatred shirts, which obviously will get over to you if you have a council meeting that they told you that they'll be issuing a proclamation. Typically, they'll give you lead time. So they'll say, in 3 weeks, we're going to be issuing it. Come to this city council meeting. So you let us know how many of you are going. And again, this is all going to be trackable in the spreadsheet that we're going to explain to you in the WhatsApp group. So I know we threw a lot of info at you, but wanted to keep this not too long. Do any of you have any questions before we wrap things up? I see one. I see Michael. I see that you raised. Oh, and Robin. Okay. So 1 minute. Michael, are you there? Michael?
Yes, I am here.
Hi. Hi,
Hi.
Michael.
Oh, I can put the camera on just a sec if need be. Yeah, well, basically, I'm a Canadian, and I tuned in. I was about to ask whether there is anything for Canadians.
There is actually, we have Alexandra Smith, great question, is our director in End Jew Hatred Canada. So she actually absolutely has been pushing this. I know last year some electeds did give proclamations. And Michael, maybe the best thing I can do, I'll drop her email address in the chat. If you can reach out to her. I know last year she also did, webinars around End Jew Hatred Day mobilization in Canada. But please, that's wonderful. I'm going to send her email address in the chat, okay?
Okay.
And just as an example, Melissa Lantsman last year gave a proclamation along other people from Toronto, so member of parliament, member of the provincial parliaments. We had a good buy-in, but that was the first year that this was done in Canada. So that's a very good and strong beginning, and there's a basis for it. So when you're making your requests, you can say that there were other people who've already done this, and that gives confidence to other electeds because they're not being asked to do something that no one else has done before. And I think that's an important point in the US as well. You're not asking for something novel. This is being done. Look at all the people who have done it. And that is something that often gives elected officials, our representatives, more basis for doing something because they're not the outlier. They're joining the cool crowd. They're joining what others are doing. So that's an important point to make as well.
No, totally. This is one instance when name dropping is really, really helpful. So
Well,
thanks.
in this case, any non-Jewish elected is worth.
Very,
Well,
absolutely. Yes.
Melissa Latzman is Jewish, so it wouldn't
No,
care.
but meaning please enter into the allies and non-Jews. Many of the elected officials in the US that have given proclamations are not Jewish.
Yeah, so okay, I will message Alexander.
Thank you so much. Thanks. And now Robin, 1 second. Robin, are you there? Robin? I believe you're unmuted. Robin? Okay, for now, I'm going to move on to Stan. Give me 1 second, and then Robin will come back to you. If you could send a text in the group when you're back. I don't know why. 1 minute.
Okay, can you hear me
Oh,
now?
you're here. Oh, okay, Robin. Yes, I can
Yeah, I
hear
was
you.
talking. I took my AirPods
No
off.
problem.
Some work with that. I was wondering if I'm part of different groups, like WhatsApp groups that's working against fighting like anti-Semitism in school or wherever. When you send these letters, is this like I just send them individually, or is it better if I get like, do you want like 20 people sending letters?
That's a great question. Meaning for instance, if it's to the same school, is that what you?
Yeah, same school or the governor or
I, no,
etc.
I mean, listen, in theory, it's you're sending it, if you're sending it individually as Robin Goldstein, you're sending it as Robin. But if there's 10 other parents from the school that are also sending it, that's great. But if there's an actual grassroots or parent advocacy group, because I know we work with a lot of them nationwide, coming from an advocacy group is wonderful as well. If it's a school advocate, that's even more powerful, frankly.
Okay, yeah, because I am with the Massachusetts Teachers Unions, but we have a whole group of Jewish
No,
teachers.
amazing, Robin. Yeah, that's fabulous.
Okay,
So thank you so much.
thank you.
Okay. And Stan, 1 minute. Stan, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My question is, when you make these requests, be it to the governor or be it to city council, do you request that this April 29th, 2026 should be declared End Jew Hatred Day? Or do you say every April 29th?
Every April. So, amazing question. And in the language that we give them, we want them to say every April 29th.
Okay, thanks.
And again, you'll see that when we share sample proclamations in the follow-up email. So thank you so much for asking that. And look, there have been a couple of proclamations that it said, I hereby declare this April 29th. But even when we asked for it to say every April 29th, but obviously it is what it is, and it was a good start.
And to a point in the questions as well, sometimes we see that even though we give them perfectly grammatical proclamations, we see them adding things or changing words so that is not that's less than perfect, and we have no control over that. But the point is that we're making progress, and each proclamation and recognition builds on each other.
Exactly.
I
And
see
now,
an interesting question. It says, any suggestions for hitting up the unions? This is from Penny Lee Berman. Here, let's see if we can bring her on. So I'm not sure if she means standard unions or teachers unions. Here, 1 second. Penny, can you hear us?
Now I can. I mean, I could hear you, but I didn't know that you could hear me. Can you hear me now?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So a number of us on this webinar are UFT members,
Mhm.
and we feel very unrecognized by the union. So is there anything special that we can do to reach out to the unions, specifically the UFT, the AFT, not nice, that seem to be ignoring us or placating us?
Gerard, I'm going to turn this to you because you're just
Yeah,
very insightful about this type of stuff.
excellent question, and I will ask a question first. Are you aware whether the union recognizes or has special events or recognizes other days that are similar, social justice days, civil rights days, nationality days, or things like that?
Yes, I am, and they are stronger than our supposed Jewish Heritage Committee. Yeah.
All right, so I think this is absolutely an ask to be made of the union because if they're recognizing other days, then how can they not recognize a day about combating anti-Semitism? And again, it's not the language, as you will see, is not about Israel, it's not about Zionism, it's about Jews and civil rights. And it puts them in a position of saying no to ending Jew hatred instead of saying no to Israel. So I think it's a very strong request to be made of the unions, and it's something that can be, I don't know what the channel is to do that. But I think that when you have a group within a union that's following the same procedures that other groups within the union use, I think that's a very strong thing to do. And
Yeah,
quite frankly, put press on it too.
the press, yeah, they're a little more subtle than that. You know, it's a subtle situation. There are others with me on this webinar who understand we have an uphill battle with the UFT, and
Oh,
I'm a
we've seen that.
unionist.
Yeah, Penny. I mean, we have been outside UFT headquarters. We've rallied alongside you guys for sure,
Yep,
and we
I
know.
was
But
there.
yeah. So, but I think what the beauty, if you want to call it the beauty of this ask is, as Gerard said, the obviously this isn't going to solve the problems of UFT. It's not going to solve everything. But this is such a black and white ask that if they turn it down then we can really put press on this and make a huge, huge, huge issue of it. So I think it's a genius idea to really go after them.
I agree, and we're on it. Thank you.
Amazing.
I
Thank
love
you.
it.
I don't know if did we, I think we have everyone that had raised their hands.
So someone wrote, please share in the chat how we could share the recording of tonight's Zoom with other people. We
Well,
know.
I'm gonna share that in all of the WhatsApp groups, whether you're part of our action items group or the K-12 group or your chapter group. I'll share the link everywhere. And then anyone that was registered for this will be getting a follow-up email with, as I said, a bunch of different links about what we spoke about and the link to the recording. So, and please feel free to pass it along. And then also, once you're part of the planning committee, you can also pass that link to join along because that's really where day in, day out, everyone can stay connected and in touch and really on target just around End Jew Hatred Day. We don't go on tangents in those groups. They're just focused, whether it's for proclamation, city council, education, etc. And then it sort of closes out until the next year.
It's a good opportunity to network, especially if you have people in your community that want to collaborate on this initiative. Teamwork is the dream work. Oh, Ken, I see that you raised your hand. Okay, let's see if we can hear Ken.
Hey, thank you very much. I had to miss the first part of the webinar due to a big Jewish wedding here.
I saw you reached out to me
Yeah.
earlier about that.
Um, can we, so it would be okay for us to maybe ask the city councils, county councils to adopt this resolution as well? I didn't hear the beginning.
Oh, yes, Ken, that's a big part of, I was saying last year, that was a huge part. People, not only the city councils adopting, but then activists going to those city council meetings to in person get
Yeah,
the
okay.
proclamation and take pictures and get press on it. So absolutely.
Yeah, the thing though is my list is growing, my email list. And do you have any kind of an email program like Constant Contact that we can use to send out stuff that's local? There's so many things going on in the DC area, with the synagogue being vandalized in Olney and things at the University of Maryland. Oh my goodness, and the list is growing. I mean, and not everybody's on WhatsApp. Is there anything you can do to give us some resources in this regard?
I turn to not even, no, I'm not going to say Gerard or Adar. I think we just need to figure out and discuss the capabilities,
Yeah.
internally to see how we can help
Okay.
there.
Well, I can take it offline with you if you want.
Yeah,
I can email you
perfect.
both tomorrow. But I like to email. I work mostly through email. I will try to WhatsApp you too. But
Yeah, I think we can figure out a way to do more of that alerts of what's going on. I think let's connect about that separately and see what we can do.
thanks so much.
Perfect. And I do see that somebody said, can we get a list of current local officials who have issued proclamations? And absolutely, that list is actually on the spreadsheet that we're going to be sharing. I don't think I put the link in this chat, but it's in the WhatsApp community chat. And you'll see there's a tab with elected officials that have given proclamations. It's pretty,
And Michelle, I also put in the webinar chat a link to the web page where we have more information, including you can click on states to see who's issued them within that state.
amazing. That's right. Oh, that's true. We forgot. Sorry, I forgot to mention the website has a whole landing page around End Jew Hatred Day. Last year, we also got a pledge out, an online pledge, the most simplistic language possible for everybody to take the pledge. So when April 29th came, we had, the numbers we were able to say, which I don't recall now, I apologize, but 30,000 people signed this pledge took the 2025 pledge to end Jew hatred. And that also was fun in terms of schools. Some, parents got it around to other PTA moms, et cetera, et cetera. So definitely check out the website. And then before we wrap up, for anybody in the New York area, this year on April 29th, because it doesn't fall on a Chag this year, we're actually hosting, in theory, it is actually the Lawfare Project, which, as you all know, we're a project of the Lawfare Project, and they're, civil rights litigation fund that takes the haters to court. But the Lawfare Project is hosting an event. Yes, Gerard? Sorry. Did I? Oh, I didn't
No,
hear.
I wasn't
Okay.
saying anything.
Oh, no, called Unite Against Extremism. So it's really on End Jew Hatred Day to really shine a light on the dangers of Jew hatred if we don't try to keep it in check as best we can. But save that day. It's from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. I know we got a preliminary invitation details in
Left
our
my
WhatsApp
hearing aid
group.
case in the car. I'll go out there.
Oh, sorry. I don't know if someone's.
I'm
But
sorry.
anyway,
I think I'm.
amazing. We're working on amazing panelists already. Have a bunch, and it's going to be phenomenal. I apologize that it's New York and we don't have something going on in every state, but this is just a start. And to that extent, even though this event is in New York, if any of you have contacts to, for instance, someone that can speak to extremism in your area or speak to, the dangers of anti-Semitism, et cetera, and you might want to moderate a discussion with him or her at your local, your synagogue or city or whatever you want to call it, community center, let us know and we can help facilitate that also. We can help. We could, microfund things and things along those lines. So just getting it out there for the New York people, but for everybody to just think about events as well. And I think for now, we're good. And we wanted to keep this under an hour, and I think we did. I see Heather, is there an event happening on Capitol Hill? I would love for there to be an event happening on Capitol Hill, but around End Jew Hatred Day, not as of now.
I think for that, if we get a couple of electeds to do proclamations, then it's worth seeing if we can set up an event to have to have this done.
Yep, it would be amazing. And that's it, guys. That's where we are now. So look out for the follow-up email, and please click the link to join the WhatsApp chat, because I will also be posting a lot in there about, with templates and just easy to follow 1, 2, 3 steps. But can't thank you all enough for giving us an hour of your time tonight and for being proactive and wanting to help us really grow this thing, because it's truly a team effort.
Thank you all.
Okay.